Hey everybody, welcome to Scary Music Party. It is Saturday, August 14th. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm super excited. We talk about everything Scarypoolparty related on this show, and I cannot wait. So, exciting week though. First of all, Poison came out last night. The video came out last night. I pre-recorded this, so I have not seen the video as of the time of this recording. However, I am super excited. I think he feels so good about this album, and I'm loving the confidence that he has in himself right now because one, he's brilliant and he needs to have confidence in himself because the rest of the world does. At least we do. And I think this album is going to be such a turning point for him, and I can't wait. I am so excited that we know that Falling Down is going to be on the album now. So I think we have to date Cell Phones, Friends, Falling Down, Poison, The Darkness, and Bless Her. And it just kind of feels, especially in that order, it kind of feels like the life cycle of a love affair, which I think it is an amazing concept because you have the beginning, where you're kind of unsure, and then you have where you're falling in love and everything is beautiful, like Falling Down, and then you have the tribulation and the kind of turbulence of the darkness, and then Bless Her, which is I don't care, goodbye. So it's an interesting concept. I was thinking about the darkness the other night because I was writing the show, and I constantly watch his videos for symbolism, and to me the video does not represent going into the darkness, like him being dark, because in the video he's literally the only thing that's lit in the video. So to me that represents the light, right? The light, the good in life, and the four girls around him playing the strings is kind of the turbulence that you experience in life and the things that happen to us, right? I have my own struggles. Everybody has their own struggles in life, and you kind of have to deal with that in a certain way to get through it. But once you do, you can reach the light and everything is beautiful. And I also think that the lyrics of The Darkness, I will follow you into the darkness, represent darkness not being able to stamp out light. Only light can stamp out darkness. So it's an interesting concept if you look at the totality of the symbolism of the video. And I could be completely wrong, by the way. This is just in my mind, the stuff I write down when I think about Scarypoolparty. I think he is so deep, and I love the symbolism in his videos. So I'm always looking for the greater message in what he's singing, because I think that there is usually always a message, whether it's heartbreak or love or finding the light or getting through the darkness, whatever it is. I think that there's always kind of this underlying message or symbolism in everything he does. So when I was thinking about this, I was the kind of the strings or the turbulence in life, and he's the light, but in order to get to the light, you kind of have to go through some stuff and kind of figure it out. Then you can get to the light. But then once you're in the light, none of the darkness can stamp him out, stamp out the light, right? It's just the light. So I don't know if that makes any sense. In my mind, it makes total sense. But who knows? I could be completely off on my analysis of his symbolism in his videos. But so we're gonna play The Darkness and really listen to the turbulence in the middle where the strings are coming in really hard, and think about life. And when you think about it, I don't know, I've had this whole thing with rebirth and peace and kind of everything that he's doing at this point. And so just listen to it. So you can even hear when you listen to it, when the strings come in louder in the middle and kind of all the turbulence. And I love about this particular song that he didn't write an ending to it, because it's kind of like life, right? Like, you don't know what your ending's going to be. And I love the fact that the ending can be based on a feeling or a mood or an emotion or whatever he's feeling at the time. And I think that is an amazing concept. I mean, we're used to that as Scarypoolparty fans, right? Like, so he is constantly changing his lyrics and he's changing the music, and so we're kind of used to that as fans. But I love that he purposely wrote a song that didn't have an ending, like not changing it because he wants to, but just keeping the rest of the song the same, but basing the end about where he's at the moment, which I think is such a great concept. And I think he said that in an interview recently, actually, that, you know, he's into playing in the moment right now. So to do that with a song, and, you know, there's the song that we haven't heard yet that was released by Rob Mathis, I think, or somebody, maybe it was Faye. Somebody released a part of a song that he made up at the spur of the moment at the last half hour of a recording session. And like, this guy is just incredible. I mean, the ability to improv like that at a moment's notice and have it be so beautiful that you're just stunned, I think is such a credit to who he is as an artist. And not a lot of people, I mean, you could talk to artists all the time, and artists are like, you know, they record their songs. Sometimes they forget the words to their own songs. He's forgotten the words to his songs, or he can't remember what version he has, which is, you know, with SPP very predictable because he just constantly evolves and changes. But most artists, like, they'll learn the words to their song, or they'll do the version of the song that was released. And I don't think that with SPP we're ever going to get that, because he's just ever evolving in music, and he's always listening to music, and he's always putting new things into music. And I remember the first time that I felt that was when I saw Beneath the Skin on Jimmy Kimmel. And up until that point, like, I knew he changed songs, but when I saw Beneath the Skin on Jimmy Kimmel, and it was so different, there was this like different backbeat in the song, and it was just a little bit different. And I was like, wow, that little change to that song made it one of the best versions of the song that I've ever heard. And to date, it's still my favorite version of Beneath the Skin that he's done. But what it did was, like, say to my brain, hey, it's good that the music is ever evolving, because you never know what little change is going to just bring the song to a whole new level. And I mean, there are some songs that I think are just perfect the way they are. And that one of those is Falling Down. I think Falling Down is perfect melody. It's perfect lyrics. I love that song with all of my heart. I think that song is finished in my mind. Probably not in his, but we're talking me right now. I think Falling Down is the perfect song. I love that chord in the middle of the chorus, actually. And it's just such a happy chord. I don't know. I smile every time I feel it, and I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach that just, it's so happy. So anyway, I don't know, but he can record feelings like nobody I've ever seen in my life. He just translates feelings to music. Like, and I said it a long time ago, but if music were feelings, this is what they would sound like. Like, because that's what he does. He takes these complex emotions, it kind of makes you feel them in the music, and it's so reminiscent of different parts of my life. And I have songs that remind me of exes, and I have songs that remind me of, you know, when I was down, and I have songs that remind me of when I was happy. You know, like, he just is such a master of capturing emotion in music. And I think that's one of the things that makes him wholly different from a lot of artists, is that he just has this ability to get you. Like, I don't care. You may only have one song that you just totally feel attached to, but that song is making you feel something. And I think that's why people were so blown away by him, because we live in a society where feeling isn't necessarily the forefront of everybody's mind right now. In fact, being fake is kind of like a thing. And we got into this, we were showing the perfect Instagram life, but really, like, we're not perfect, and on the inside we're hurting, and we have all these feelings, and we're afraid to show them because life has taught us don't feel anything. And people that feel, or people that are emotional, are considered bad or wrong. But the truth is, like, everybody has that. Whether you admit it or not is an entirely different question. And I think his music appeals to the people that can feel things. So I don't know, it's just like this whole thought process I go through with his music, because I think it's very cerebral as well, and it makes you think about your life. So I think a lot, and that's kind of where I've come to with that song. So anyway, I'm just so excited that Poison's out. I know it's been a long-time favorite. Poison was originally released on November 23rd, 2018, prior to American Idol. It now has over 870,000 streams on YouTube, and it was performed on American Idol in the Showstopper episode for the top 6 on May 6th. He did White Rabbit first, which is probably my favorite version of White Rabbit, and then followed that up with Poison. And I'll never forget him being on the stage with that, it was like a black and white or a tan and black jacket with all the lighters around him lit. Like, everybody just adores that song. And it was the episode where Katie said that was the best he ever sang in the competition. And I just remember thinking during that performance that was such a hard song to play. And that was also the performance that Luke Bryant said, I truly hope people understand that what you do is so difficult to do, because this is one of his most musically complex songs. I mean, he definitely has more complex songs, right? Like, he has The Darkness, which is a masterpiece, and he has Bless Her on the piano, which is also a masterpiece, but many difficult songs to play. But Poison is up there. He does play it in concert. Usually, he did in this summer tour, he played Poison. So, Poison is just a beloved fan favorite. If you've been around since the beginning, it's always been there, and it always remains one of the favorites of everybody. So we're getting that. We got that last night, and I cannot wait to see the video. I am a very visual person, so I'm kind of visual and auditory. So I like the video and I like the lyrics, right? Like, I'm just that person. I like words. But yeah, so I'm super excited about Poison. And, we're only 15 days away from the Act of Forgiveness being out. And I am going to do a week-by-week breakdown of that album, I think, on this show, just because it's so massive, and I think it's going to take a lot of emotion and consideration to hear that album. I'm definitely planning on listening to it with headphones the first time in the dark by myself, just so I could hear it. I'm going to play Poison right now. I'm going to play the American Idol version of Poison, then I'm going to play the YouTube version of Poison. Then we can compare it next week. It'll be fun. Actually, next week is my repeat show. It'll be the week after that, but it'll be lots of fun. So I'll be back after Poison. Both versions of Poison, the one from American Idol and also the one from YouTube. And I just have to say about the American Idol version, like, we didn't realize it at the time of the airing how much he struggled with wearing the clothes that they wanted him to wear, because he was just a guy in the flannel with the beanie. And it's so funny to me that, because we now know that American Idol dresses the contestants. So since he's been on the show, I've seen multiple people wearing flannels with beanies. And I'm like, but didn't you try to talk him out of that in the beginning? So it's just the little changes that he has had on that show to me are incredible, because, yeah, like, he fought so hard to be who he was, and now they're trying to replicate that. I felt like with Arthur Gunn especially, like, look, I don't deny that the guy is talented. I think, though, there is a lack of respect for the music on Arthur's part. And, you know, whereas Alejandro really wanted the break and he really wanted to be there and work for it, and he got through his issues, I think Arthur, I don't really feel like he ever wanted to be there. Like, it was almost like, you know, he was too good. I don't want to say it that way, because he doesn't seem like a bad person. I don't know. Like, the last time on American Idol, really, first of all, I was mad at American Idol for even bringing him back, right? Because they have had this, like, hard-on for Arthur Gunn for 2 years now. And I think they were trying to replicate the success they had with Alejandro. And I've talked about this before, but they need to realize that they did not create Alejandro. Alejandro kind of created them. Recreated them, at least. And because a lot of people tuned in for the first time to watch him, not to watch American Idol. And regardless of what they think, and the co-hosts are great. I love Lionel, Katie, and Luke. I do. I absolutely have grown attached to that show. I don't like everything they do. I don't like all the decisions they make as a television show, but I understand they have to evolve. But when people first tuned in 2018 or 2019, it was to watch Alejandro, not to watch American Idol. So I get that they want to replicate that success that they had, because he came out the show with almost 1 million followers, but that wasn't because of them. And, you know, not everybody is going to be Alejandro. And I think I do give them credit for one thing last year, because I think the previous year there were so many people trying to be him that it was really difficult to find singers, because they were all trying to be original. They were all trying to be Alejandro, which is impossible. And I think at one point, you know, Katie even said to the crowd, like, you know, you're not all Alejandro, and that's okay. Like, just be yourselves. And I think the move that they did this year with trying to make a song their own was a good move. I think, you know, not everybody has the ability to be a songwriter and a composer and a producer. So trying to make an already known song your own, I think is a good testament to the type of artist you could be. And if you think back, Alejandro did that. He did what was it? Yellow. He did the song by Post Malone. He did you know, White Rabbit, Under Pressure. Like, he made those songs his own, and they were always him. And I think after reconsidering this season of American Idol, I think they're on the right track. They made a couple of mistakes, bringing back past contestants. I'm sorry, give them their own season. If you really feel that they were underexposed and they didn't have a chance to really shine, then give them another chance. Give them their own season. But don't bring them into a season that is already so talented. And I will say, like, I loved Alejandro's season, right? I really, really did. I thought that there were so many talented people. This year of American Idol, though, the kids on there were so amazing. Like, you just think about Grace and Willie and all of these people that were just incredible singers. And then they go and they kind of have this contest in the middle to bring back people. And I'm sorry, but I'm really glad that Arthur didn't win, because he's no comparison to Alejandro on any level in my eyes. He doesn't sing as well as Alejandro does. He definitely doesn't play the guitar as well as Alejandro. And I don't agree with all his musical choices. And that's his choice to make. You know, I recognize the fact that he's an artist and he has his own perspective and point of view. But I think whereas Alejandro respects the integrity of the original artist's song, I don't think that Arthur does that, and I don't think he cares. And it's kind of an insult to the other artists, to be honest. And to me, it's a turnoff. And I know he has lots of fans and whatever. This is my opinion. I really hope that I don't see him ever again. He just did not do it for me. On any planet. I thought that there were way better singers on this year of American Idol. You know, Casey being my favorite, but I loved everybody in the top 10. I think any one of those kids should have had a career. Any one of them were talented enough to be in the music industry, in my opinion. I don't think Arthur Gunn, I think he's almost too unique. Right? Like, he wants to be so different that it just doesn't appeal to anybody. Whereas Alejandro is different, but he's relatable. That's the word. I don't find Arthur Gunn to be relatable at all in any perspective. But maybe I'm not hearing it. I know not everybody can hear Alejandro's music, and that's fine, but I'm a diehard Alejandro fan. I always will be, and I will always kind of protest somebody trying to recreate him, because I don't think it's possible. I think there are people that are artists, and there are exceptionally amazing artists out there, and Alejandro has turned me on to a lot of them, but I don't think that there is another Alejandro specifically. And I will always react that way to anybody that they try to turn into Alejandro. Anyway, so I'm going to get off my soapbox now about American Idol, but I have had a lot of time to think about, you know, kind of what happened on the show this year and all the mistakes that I was so angry about. And yeah, I reconsidered some of my positions, but some of them I just really haven't. But in other news this week, Alejandro's birthday was on August 11th. So he is 27. It looks like he may have gone to Disneyland with KK and Jordy. I don't know, but Jordy and KK were definitely at Disneyland because she posted a picture with Starbucks, and that's where they were. Oh, maybe it wasn't Disneyland. Was it Disneyland? Now I don't know. I'm questioning myself. But also, Wade posted a picture of many pictures, actually very cute pictures of Alejandro, and just saying he deserves the world, and I couldn't agree more. And I'm so glad that they're friends again. Like, that was just heartbreaking. And I am so glad that they support each other and that they're friends, and, you know, everything is okay in the AI world of season 17. I know that Alejandro went through a lot when he first got into, you know, the music industry, and it was a huge adjustment for him, and I think some of that may have fallen down on the people around him, but I don't think it was purposeful. I think that, you know, Wade is such a great guy and really, really adores Alejandro. So Hollywood Records also wished him a happy birthday. And yeah, so we're like 15 days from the Act of Forgiveness, which is out August 27th. I cannot wait. I will be breaking down a couple of songs a week, hopefully, on the show just so I can post them on YouTube separately, because the more media, the better for Alejandro. So if you ever wonder why I do all this stuff, it's for the media, because I know it adds to SEO results and kind of keeps people viral. So the more media he has, the better. So if you're going to post something, please do. Like, it's not a competition. It is all about getting views for Alejandro. So anyway, we're going to move on to SPP and Friends for a little bit. And lots of news. The first one is Jordy and KK went to Disneyland, and that is really fun. I'm sure that Alejandro was there. He loves amusement parks, so I can just imagine. And Lane Hardy's song, Memorize Me, which, by the way, I really like. I don't like many country songs, but this was on Katie and Blake's first one-on-one date. He performed on the show, and she ended up with him. She ended up with Blake. So they replayed it later in the show, and then they replayed it at the end when he asked her to marry him, and it was just such a good feeling, and that song kind of became their song. So I love that, and I love that Lane got some airtime after what American Idol did to him, and it just made me really happy for him, and I know that Alejandro would be super happy for him as well. And yeah, so what else? Sucre had a new song come out called Never. I played it on Alt Nation last night. I really love the song. I love the crazy beats in it, and it's different. It's not, she's always very floaty and kind of ethereal with her music. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but she has a lot of ethereal elements, right? She's just her voice is very melodic. So this is kind of really has a lot of drum beats in it, and it's a different beat. It's not it's not like a rock song, but it's very alternative. I would term it alternative. So it's a great song, though. I highly encourage you to buy it. Listen to it on Spotify. Give the girl some love on YouTube, because she only had 7 likes the last time I looked. And I don't know, maybe I just caught it really early. I haven't been back since, but definitely check out Sucre's new song, Never, because it's awesome. And DK said something about releasing an album with his voice, and I didn't even know DK can sing. Am I the only one that didn't know that? Because I feel sometimes everybody knows something, like Romance, right? I didn't realize Romance and Blesser were 2 different songs for a year, and everybody's oh yeah, they're 2 different songs, and I was oh, okay. Oh, I just had a thought. Maybe Romance and Blesser are both going to be on the Act of Forgiveness. That would be super dope. I don't know. Now I have to think about that one. I just cannot wait to hear this album. I don't know if anybody is as excited as I am for this album, but it's going to be very long, 21 tracks. There's a lot more music to add to the library, and I'm super excited about it. And yeah, so moving back to SPP and Friends. So Fabian has been hanging out with his girlfriend. So Twin Shadow is still promoting his new album, which there is a vinyl for, so please buy it. And he's been recently thinking and highlighting a lot of Black artists in the community. I love that he's doing that, but he's also released a documentary about the making of the Twin Shadow album. And he also posted a couple of funny outtakes this week. I think he's just a really funny guy. I really love Twin Shadow. I don't know. He is definitely one of my favorite artists that I have found out of Alejandro, right? Because of Alejandro. And Wade has posted a lot lately, so he is working on a new album, and he looks amazing. He's lost a lot of weight, and I'm super proud of him for that, because healthy is the way to go. Max released what looked like album artwork, and it said Love of Chaos, Constant Battle Against Entropy, and that is things being the same. So or system against the system. Andy posted a song he did with Wires, so I'm thinking that album is going to be out soon because they're on artwork. They're kind of posting a little snippets here, so that's good. Little Narnia is playing a show at the Echo on August 17th, so if you live there, please check that out and support Little Narnia. And Nothing Nowhere is showing his acoustic chops on Instagram. Posted a video with an acoustic song. For what it's worth, I thought it was pretty good. I think that I love the acoustic music. I'm kind of on a thing with it right now. X Ambassadors also released a new song yesterday called Adrenaline, so make sure you check that out. And Chris Bird announced that he was returning to the Isle of Wight Festival 2021 as a grand finalist, so happy to hear that and happy for him. I'm going to do the stats real quick and I'll be right back. We're going to take a music break and listen to Sucre's new song, Never. So yeah, I just kind of really love that song. I think that it's an amazing song. My favorite song by Sucre, I think, is Truth or Dare. But I'd have to go back and re-listen to everything. So we're going to go do the stats real quick. And I'll close the show out with a song. But the stats are as follows. He only lost 359 people on Instagram this week. So for a total of 621,747,000. On Twitter, he lost 26 followers for a total of 60,088. He stayed the same on Facebook with 21,000 followers, and on TikTok he had 54,400 followers and gained 0. I think TikTok is very much when you post you gain followers, when you don't, you don't. So I think it's different than the other social platforms in that way. And as far as Deezer, he gained 4 fans for a total of 693 fans. So I'm going to go through the streams first before I give you the totals. On SoundCloud, which is one of my favorite channels, you know that. He doesn't go up a lot, but I love it. He did gain 2 followers for a total of 8,874 followers. His biggest gainer this week overall was Out Loud with 125 streams and 10 Years with 89 streams. And he had a total of 672 streams on SoundCloud this week for a total of 614,415. On Spotify this week, he gained 968 listeners for a total of 218,841 listeners this week. And he gained 127 followers for 97,841. We are almost to 100,000. I just really want him to have 100,000 listeners. I think it's a milestone. I don't know. 10 Years gained 7,632 for 3,022,972,000. Fading Away, 6,477 listens for 2.8 million. Cholo Love, 1,595 for 720,287 listens. Home gained 11,243 for a grand total of 472,756. Off of Exit Forum, the biggest gainers were definitely Out Loud. Out Loud is always up there. Total of 25,430 for a grand total of 7,791,990. Also, big gainers this week was Tonight with 4,631 streams, Cholo Love with 4,147 streams. And yeah, so gaining a lot of ground this week. On Doom Hologram, the biggest gainer there was Return to Sender, as always. Biggest one this week, again, for a total of 39,030 streams, for a total of 2,515,642. So this song is just gaining so much momentum. It's passed so many fan favorites. So I expect that one to reach 3 million definitely by the end of the year, if not before then. Off of Los Angeles, the biggest gainer was Universe with 6,900 streams for a total of 232,350 streams. And off the Act of Forgiveness, we have The Darkness with 8,364 streams for a total of 47,365. And Friends had a total of 2,949 streams for a grand total of 98,659. Total Spotify streams this week, 124,758 for a grand total of 22,846,341. On YouTube, which is, I watch a lot of YouTube, I will admit it. On YouTube, he stayed the same at 161,000, but it's hard to tell how many followers he actually gets. They don't give that information. And the biggest gainer this week was The Darkness with 3,669 for a total of 27,082 streams of that, followed by Friends with 2,269 streams. A total on YouTube of 19,961 streams for a total of 7,405,096. So he's doing well on all the platforms. His total this week for all streams is 155,607 and a grand total of 30,865,852. So all-time streams doing really, really well. We're about to pass the 31 million mark shortly, maybe next week. Probably next week we'll pass the 31 million mark for total streams everywhere. And that is all the news on Scary Pool Party this week. I'm going to play one more song. It's going to be a short song. I'm going to play I Fall Apart by Post Malone that he did on American Idol, and we're going to close the show out with that. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'm out of here, and I will see you next week at the same place, same time. It will be a repeat of this show next week because I have 1 week that I can't do the show just because of work. But I will be back the following week, and we can talk about all the stuff. Bye.